Orlando Brown said Diddy's not going to jail. He said,
I can understand why he would say that.
Yeah. Can you break that down a little bit more? Why you think he said
Well,
that?
considering that the is selling his own god evidence that would put him in jail against him on the dark net to the highest bidder. Why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery? Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of all just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
Is he protecting people, or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists. But that's how they're trading for all of the flesh they sell. Which is why I became so outraged last year when the twins turned 16 and he had them dressed like prostitutes and then he auctioned them off as NFTs because the NFT that he sold them to was attached to that dark fucking coin. It was like a promissory note to sell his daughters to the highest bidder.
You see movies like Hostel. Do places like that really exist?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do the things that go on in places like that exist?
Absolutely.
Shit. It's funny because...
There are 3 women I know right now in my life. They've been in my life for 6 years. I've been caring for them for 3 years. I got them off of Epstein Island. I cannot say where they are in the world. What I can say is when they got into the boat, they were roughed.
Wow.
Want to know how they ended up on Epstein Island?
Yes.
Please.
They auditioned to be models for music videos.
Oh, casting couch.
When they got to Miami, they had to show and turn over their ID. And they collected their passports. And then they drugged them. And then the next thing you know, they were in a storage container getting fucked by a bunch of weird strangers on camera who were bidding for all of the terrible things that were happening to them live online.
Wow.
After they made it through that, that's when they were sent to Rick Ross's music videos, shoots, as groupies and extras to make sure that they could walk around in society without looking like victims. And then after that, that's when they were shipped off to Epstein Island to be broken in and to be readied for Dubai and Moscow. When they got into the boat, and I looked at them, they didn't have to tell me shit. And neither one of them, none of them, they They didn't speak for weeks. But when you spend time with strangers and they finally feel safe enough to go to sleep and then they start talking in their sleep and you hear the shit that they yell.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because as you sit here and we talk about hostile and
These 3 girls that I'm telling you about were in videos that are being played online today. And they appeared in those videos after they had already been sodomized, systematically beaten, starved. But they were smiling in those videos, though.
Yeah, it's crazy because, you sit here and, we got your story before where you actually said you seen what a saw does to human flesh, like having a saw. I mean, we got Terrence Gangsta in the building too as well, and he literally said he's seen the same thing, what he's seen a saw, what it does to human flesh. And I'm like, I don't know what it does to a person's mind or psyche when they see that in person.
It changes you.
Like,
it changes you. There is a place inside of me where I have the ability to either see a human body as a human being or just pieces.
Now, Jack, you said Justin Bieber, and I have to ask you because there's a picture circulating online where they show Justin.
He's the new Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, they show him crying.
He's the new Tevin Campbell.
You're almost giving him a gateway to speak his truth of what happened.
I wish Tevin Campbell would speak to him or for him. Because the same thing that they did to him, they're doing to Bieber right now. And I have evidence. That poor kid. And all because he got discovered by Usher. And then Usher took him right over there to the diddler. And let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll. So let me ask you this, because you did the domino effect with Rook, and you said something in which you mentioned that you've seen the devil. You've seen him.
Yeah.
From your experiences, have you seen him enact his ways within a human being where you've seen a devil in a person come out?
Absolutely. And I've seen him in real time.
What?
When you're being raped, if you're brave enough to look into your rapist's eyes, I promise you'll see nothing. Nothing. There is no human there. It's almost like they're in a trance. You can talk to rapists and they'll tell you, even in that moment, there is a space where they lost their self. They don't even remember. It's possession of the flesh. To watch a person give up utter control of themselves and allow that energy to come in. I stared at a man raping me, choking me, and I saw nothing. And that's when I knew this isn't a person anymore. Which is why The idea of picking that knife up and slitting his fucking throat didn't bother me at all. That wasn't a person anymore. There wasn't a person in there. Mm-hmm. You want to know what's really fucked up?
Sure.
Can you imagine if every artist that's ever been goddamn violated decided to settle their own score? How many dead bodies would we be cleaning up?
So that takes me to when you speak on Aaliyah. People really was honed in when you spoke on Dame Dash, Aaliyah, and you're speaking on something where you're saying, I wish that situation would be investigated further.
No, to be investigated. Period. It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash and what happened leading up to it? Please, someone answer that.
Do you feel like
why the fuck would you need to sign? A nigga don't ask about a plane crash if it was accidental.
Do you feel like...
Riddle me that. Work with me here in this moment.
And I'm going to ask you.
A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play?
Now, mind you, September 11th happened a week later. 9/11 happened a week later. Do you think that took away from it?
Once again, there are people who did short sales on their stocks right after that, made a lot of fucking money, including Sean Carter. Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
Hey.
There were over 25 non-disclosure agreements cashed out and recorded regarding the death of that beautiful girl and every other human being that died on that plane with her. What the fuck? Would you need a nigga don't ask for that? And Diddy had Hype Williams a lot of balls. Belly was a money pit.
Without question.
And Jay-Z got 10 free videos out of Williams. And Hype didn't work for free.
Ugh.